Hello, good evening. Yay! All right, I'm up here by myself, so I would love some energy from the crowd. Yeah! All right, if you know this one, please sing along with me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This power that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This power that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This power that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away.
Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Northern Colorado. My name is Reverend Alvarado. So glad that you have joined us this evening. Welcome to those who are online. We are an inclusive community. We honor all faith traditions, all paths to God, wherever you are on your journey. You're welcome here. Oh, you can. I think you can hear, but maybe there's a mic in. Can you? Oh, you just needed to walk up here. That's all you needed to do in magic. Now you can hear me. Okay. Hello again. So we believe in the teachings of the science mind. And so each week you will hear practical tools that you can apply in your life so that you can experience more joy and more freedom, because we believe that as you change your thoughts, you change your life. Still can't. Okay. Should I just, all right. Excuse the wizard behind the minister. Okay, now you can hear me. All right. Thank you. Thank you, wizard. All right. Let's say our mission and our vision together. Our mission: we are an inclusive community, inspiring personal growth, spiritual practice, and a positive way of life. And our vision: to awaken humanity, revealing a world that works for everyone. All right, I don't believe we have kiddos. Young at heart. We have people in the audience who are young at heart, yes, but no kiddos. Okay, thanks, Corey, for being here. All right, so we are going to do some announcements, and I'm bringing Marie back up again. Come on down. And we have a special guest with us today who is going to kick us off here.
Okay.
Handing it over
That's
to you
me.
now. Yes.
I'm going to follow the script, and
Thank you.
doesn't start with our special guest.
Yes, it does. Bonk.
Oh,
Right
look
there.
at that.
I had to say bump. I don't know why, but
I don't know why you said.
but it's right there.
Okay. Well,
Thank
here
you,
we
Julie.
go. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Okay, so our September outreach this month is September is Suicide Prevention Month. Let me just say that right up front. This month, a percentage of our tithes will go to support the Alliance for Suicide Prevention of Larimer County. Please welcome the program's director, Kim Muller. She will share with us about the organization and the importance of its cause. Yes.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kim Muller. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a program director at the Alliance for Suicide Prevention. We've been around since 1989, and our mission is to prevent suicide in Larimer County through training and education, outreach, and community support. So we do that in 5 main areas of programming. We do adult education, youth education, peer outreach, tabling, and community networking. So we are not a crisis center. We really focus on making sure that our community knows how to talk about suicide, knows what to do if they're worried about somebody, and knows where to go for help. We train about 15,000 community members every year, and that includes our middle and high school students. So we train about 8,500 kiddos every single year, and of those kids, we refer about 10% to 12% of them immediately to resources, immediately following a presentation or training. We also have tons and tons of community events and outreach. All of our programming is offered for free to the community, and one of the best ways that you can support the Alliance for Suicide Prevention is getting trained in something called QPR. It is Question, Persuade, Refer. It is a 60 to 90 minute free full certification training. It offers the same way as a CPR certification. It's nationally recognized, and we do offer it every single month. And you can also invite us into your groups or your homes or your clubs or your places of business, and we would be more than happy to offer support to you and all of your friends and family. And also on September 21st, which is a Thursday night in TPC in Boulder, we have our annual fundraiser. And if you would love to join us, we would love to have you there. I have left my business cards out on the welcome table. If you have any questions about suicide prevention, if you have questions about supporting a loved one, if you have lost a loved one to suicide, please reach out. We have support for all of those things. Thank you so much for having us here today. Thank you.
Kim. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Very important work. Also, on the important work schedule, Introduction to the Enneagram with Linda Frazee, next Saturday, September the 16th. The admission is, or the ticket, I never know what to call this. $60. Mm-hmm. The Enneagram is a tool for self-discovery. The seminar costs $60. Don't miss this amazing opportunity. There are scholarships available for the class. Thank you. There is gonna, next week, there'll be somebody different up here because I just can't keep doing this like this. But don't miss Linda. Linda is Michelle Medrano's mom, the senior minister down at Mile High Church, and she is an amazing, wonderful woman, and the Enneagram is an incredible tool. Thursday, September 21st, Karen Drucker.
Yay.
Right here. Save the date. Get your tickets today. You can sign up, and Johnny will be in the back of the room after service. Don't you go walking out during Reverend Leah's talk. And she'll have tickets, and she's in the back at the media table right now, but she'll be just outside the door hawking tickets later.
Yes.
Because we want people to come to see Karen. Love and Logic, a 6-week class beginning September 29th. Learn unparalleled solutions to build healthy relationships with your kids while setting firm, loving limits that turn problem behaviors around. Wow, I'm sorry my folks didn't get to
Right, I know.
do this. Taught by our youth and family director, Brooke Minkle. Brooke has helped over 100 families and teachers using this method. Sorry, like I said, my folks weren't around to do this when I was growing up. Exploring Death with Courage, Heart, and Choice. Facilitated by Reverend Leah Alvarado, Reverend Sherry Jensen, and practitioner Lonnie Hickman. These 6 sessions delve deeply into the profound topic of death. My notes now say, Reverend Leah says more.
So, Reverend Sherry, raise your hand. This is Reverend Sherry, everybody. So, this is a topic that in our culture we don't really talk much about. And it doesn't matter where you are, at what stage of your life, you can benefit from this. We're super excited to be offering this. And yeah, we're in the process of putting all the details together, but please come and participate. It'll give you a chance to examine your own fears about death and complete some unfinished business and just delve into this topic in a deeper way, in a really sacred, beautiful way, and an empowered way. So that's our commitment. So come check it out. Okay.
Okay, I don't know how I follow death, but here we go. After service potluck. Okay, you know,
From death to
I
potluck.
just read what they write here. We're having, and it's not even tonight, for crying in the mud. So we're having potlucks on the first and third Sunday of every month. Today is the second Sunday, so we're not having one today, but sign up to bring a dish for next Sunday. If you're hungry tonight, I don't know what to tell you.
We're going to Simmer. People are going to Simmer.
People are going.
Restaurant.
I've been told repeatedly, everyone is going to Simmer.
Yes.
Okay? Just down the street at Drake and Shields on the northwest corner. It's not on the northeast corner.
Okay, thank you for that
It's
correction.
on the north, yeah. So meet at the welcome table after service, and somebody else will tell you a different location where it is, and then you can try to figure it all out. Everything else, check. Oh,
Right there.
Here it is. Telling you what, I really want my QR code back.
Yes, you keep telling me that.
Everything else, cslnoco.org, and it keeps not being here.
Yes, I'll have to get on that.
Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you, Marie. All right. My part. Settle back and go within as we begin with an opening prayer, a meditation, and a song.
So just close your eyes and sit in that place of calmness, love, knowing that that essence of God is all there is. It moves in and out and through all things. It is present within each person here. And just breathe that all in, knowing that each one of us is one with this presence. It is infinite, it is loving, it is supportive. We often use the word God, Jesus, higher power to define, to express this essence. I spent a weekend with a friend who kept talking about his higher power. And I asked him, what does that mean to you? He kind of shrugged his shoulders. And I sat there and I told him, it's that divine presence within you. It is your courage, your strength. It is that thing that calls you forth to be that better you, your higher self. And it is always with you. It is present now as Reverend Leah gives her talk. It is present with each person who is here helping to execute the service. And it is here with each person willing to listen and to tap in to that inner strength. So I simply, with a grateful heart, know that it is also here and present with all of those in Morocco as they navigate the devastation and the loss and the not knowing of what tomorrow may bring. So as I hold consciousness for each person here today, I hold consciousness for all of them in Morocco and for the greater world. Knowing this truth, so I speak these words for all, and I simply release them, knowing that it is here now, and it is already so, and so it is.
Our chant today uses the words Om So Hum, meaning I am that, or I am the universe. Om So Hum. 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 Once more together. Om So Hum. Om So Hum. Om So Hum. And then together, Om 3 times. So our featured song tonight is also going to use Sanskrit lyrics, which you will see up on the screen. This is called Loka Samasta, and the translation of this is, may all beings be happy, may all my thoughts, words, and actions contribute in some way to the happiness of all beings. Loka
Gems that are contained within, studied so many of these and incorporated them into the science of mind. Today, I'm talking about, thank you. Thank you, Wizard. Today, I'm talking about Hinduism. Hinduism, one of the most influential texts in Hinduism is the Bhagavad Gita. Ernest Holmes read the Bhagavad Gita as part of his research when he was creating the science of mind. And it contains some of the most profound spiritual wisdom and practical guidance. The entire text is a conversation between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was one of the many deities in Hinduism. There are many, many, many deities. Lord Krishna is one of the most revered in Hinduism, and he represents the divine, as all of these deities do. They all are aspects of the one that they refer to as Brahman. So I'm going to share an excerpt from the Bhagavad Gita, not in Sanskrit, but in English. So, so the way that it starts is Prince Arjuna is on the battlefield. He's one of the warriors. And he's confronted by this war that is about to take place. And he's confronted because he recognizes that he's about to fight people he loves, family and friends and revered teachers who are on the opposing side. And so he says to Lord Krishna, I don't know how I'm going to do this. How am I going to fight my own family, my own friends, those I love? I am confronted by this thing. How? Help me engage in this war in a way that makes sense. So his heart is just broken at the idea of having to do this. And Lord Krishna says to him, dear Arjuna, surrender. Surrender your thoughts, surrender your emotions, surrender all of that, your actions to me. Place your burdens in me, place your faith in me. Meditate and connect with me, move into your heart and connect with me. And you will experience the oneness of all existence, and you will attain self-realization. This, dear Arjuna, is the path to liberation. And so Arjuna says, I surrender completely to you, Lord Krishna. Thank you for being a guiding light in this moment of darkness in my life. So the ultimate goal of Hinduism is to obtain liberation. And the Sanskrit word for liberation is moksha. And that's ultimately what all of us are looking to experience, yes? We all want to experience freedom. True freedom is about recognizing that the divine is within us and all around us. This is when we have reached self-realization. They talk a lot about self-realization in Hinduism. And self-realization, what that means is that we recognize our true nature, the divinity that we are, and that we are one with the all. We are one with that supreme being, with Brahman. It says in the Bhagavad Gita, a true yogi observes me and all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me everywhere. A self-realized person sees the divine everywhere, not only within ourselves, but in all beings and in all things. Self-realization in Hinduism is merging the individual soul, which is referred to as Atman, with Brahman. The individual soul, the individual expression. In Science of Mind, we talk about the same thing. You can see the influence that Hinduism had on our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, because in our philosophy, we talk about the individualized expression of God, the soul as an individual expression of the one, of the divine. And when we recognize our connection to that, when we recognize our oneness with spirit, with the divine, with all that is, dualities dissolve. Right and wrong, good and bad, love and hate, all of that dissolves when we are in that experience of oneness. You know, we live in a world of duality, don't we? We live in that world because that is where our consciousness is as a whole. We think that we have to go through hard things in order to evolve, in order to get to the good, we have to go through the bad. We believe that we can't appreciate the good without experiencing something hard. And this is what we have experienced as human beings. There's so much duality in our experience that we just know that that's how it goes. We just trust that. We are claiming that as we go through life. And so therefore, we see it everywhere, and we experience the duality of life, good and bad, right and wrong, love and hate. Hinduism emphasizes non-duality. So this idea that we are not separate, and we know this. We have heard this. If you've been on the spiritual path for a while, you know that we are not separate. You know that this is the truth of who we are. But how many of us actually walk through the world and feel one? We can know it intellectually. It's different to know it than it is to actually experience it. How many of you have experienced oneness? Actually experienced it? A few of you. It's extraordinary when that happens, even if it's for a moment. This idea of self-realization is really a gift that Hinduism has given to us. This idea that this divine essence that is within us is forever connected to the all, to the ultimate, to the divine essence of all. And this isn't something, experiencing oneness isn't something that's hard. We make it hard because our brains, our analytical minds make it hard. But really, we just have to get out of the way. That's all we have to do. It sounds easy, but we just have to get out of the way. To release the intellect, to release our ego desires, and to focus less on duality. As Lord Krishna said to Arjuna, it's simply deciding in that moment to let it go, to release the labels that we have placed on everything. And we do that so that we can feel safe in the world. We place those labels there so that we can feel more secure and more safe. We make a decision that who we are today is related to what we experienced 25 years ago. I am who I am because of this experience. I am who I am because of how I was raised. I am who I am because of this challenging thing I went through when I was 10. And yes, those experiences have a great impact on who we are, but that is not the truth of who we are. That is not the truth. The truth is that we are one with that magnificent light of the divine. The divine has created worlds. Think about that for a moment. It has created worlds, and that same essence, that same vibration, that same powerful force is contained within each one of us. And so, we as we move along our journey, we begin to reconcile our relationship with this thing called God, this thing called this divine essence, this powerful force. And we move from thinking God or seeing God or experiencing God as this punitive God to God being immanent and transcendent. God is both within us and all around us. And so as we move along our journey, we begin to experience God in a new way. And maybe even have a little more comfort in saying the word, God. Some of us use other words, and that's okay. But it's a journey, it's a deeply personal journey for each one of us. And I think that we are headed as a spiritual community, not just ours, but those of us who are on a spiritual path, not to say that we're better than everybody else, I don't mean to imply that, but those of us who get that God is immanent and transcendent, that our consciousness is being up-leveled. Things are shifting and moving within us. So that when we sit and meditate, when we do our powerful spiritual practices, it is not just an intellectual exercise, but it's actually something that we are experiencing deep within us, that we are experiencing oneness. We are experiencing that self-realization, which means that the individualized self is connected to the all, and we feel that, not just every now and again, but on a regular basis. And when we do, all else falls away. This is why the yogis in India can meditate on a pile of trash. If you've ever seen pictures of that or heard that, there are yogis that meditate on trash. And the reason they can do that is because they are so tapped in to that divine essence of who they are, the truth of who they are, and they know that they are one. It doesn't matter what is around them. It doesn't matter what is going on in their life. None of that matters. They recognize the truth of who they are. They know it. They feel it. They affirm it. And so this is something that's possible for all of us. Now, I'm not suggesting we go meditate on a pile of trash. That would be a good experiment, though, wouldn't it? Or go sit in a place where it's extremely noisy and see if you can connect in. See if you can still know the truth of who you are. Go sit in a place that drives you nuts. Some place is like, oh my God, I can't stand all the noise here. Go sit and see what you can connect into. I once worked with a congregant in my last center. This beautiful light she was. Her name was Leanne Goff, and she unfortunately has made her transition. But when I worked with her at the Center for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley, she was in one of my classes, and she came up to me with all kinds of bubbly excitement, which she often did. And she comes running up to me, and she says, Reverend Leah, guess what? I am experiencing oneness. When I look at every single person I connect with, when I interact with strangers or my own family, I know that I am one with every single person. I can feel it. I know their truth. And as she's saying this to me, I can feel the love pouring out of her through her eyes, through her heart. She was experiencing that self-realization. She knew who she was. She knew that she was divine, the divine in essence, in form. And she knew that in everybody else that she interacted with. It was a beautiful thing to witness. In the Upanishads, which is an ancient Hindu text, it says this: as the rivers flowing east and west merge in the sea and become one with it, so do all creatures lose their separateness when they merge at last into pure being. So this is the ultimate experience for all of us. To no longer live from a place of duality. Now, we live in this world of duality. It's everywhere. But to pay attention to how often we move into duality, seeing things as black and white, wrong, right, hate, love. How often do we live in that place of duality? As we move along the spiritual journey, it's good for all of us to notice that. And when we instead make a conscious choice to connect in to that divine essence of who we are and know that we are connected to all. We are connected to that divine, magnificent presence that has created worlds. When we can do that, in that moment, even if it's for 1 minute that we feel that oneness, that is success. That's a victory. If we can experience that, and the more we do it, now when we move through the world, we're not just experiencing it when we're in meditation, we're now experiencing it when we're driving our car down the street on I-25. We're experiencing it on a more regular basis. And as we do that, and I say this all the time, as we do that, as we are up-leveling our consciousness, we are helping to up-level the consciousness for all. As we recognize our oneness, we give others permission to know that they too are one, that they can experience this as well. Paramahansa Yogananda, beautiful divine being, he said this about self-realization. Self-realization is the knowing in all parts of body, mind, and soul that you are now in possession of the kingdom of God. You are in possession of it. How profound is that? So when we are in that experience of self-realization and we are experiencing oneness, we are in the kingdom. We have arrived when we are there. There is this aspect of Hinduism that is devotional. Bhakti yoga is the devotional aspect of Hinduism. When we think of yoga, we think of postures and movement. Yoga means union in Sanskrit. And it's not about physical postures. It's about deepening one's relationship with the divine through worship, through prayer, through surrender. You know, we've lost the aspect of devotion in the Western world. Because when we think of devotion, we think that devotion is praying to something, and we think of Christianity. And so many of us on the spiritual path have rejected Christianity to the point where the idea of bowing in reverence to something outside of ourselves feels wrong. I invite us all to look at our relationship with devotion. Because what I am talking about here is our devotion to the essence of God that is within us. Bowing in reverence to the essence of the divine within our being and the essence of the divine in each and every person. So this idea of being devotional is beautiful. We just have to shift our perspective about it a little bit. It's not saying that this thing out here, giving all of our control to it. It's instead recognizing the essence of God, that presence of spirit within ourselves. And if we can recognize it within ourselves and know that we are one with it, we can recognize it in someone else. To bow in reverence, great reverence, to the divinity within all beings. What a beautiful gift that we can give to the world. Ernest Holmes said, "The greater we become in realization, the less dominion the world has over us." I think he understood devotion. He doesn't really talk about that, but it's implied, it's certainly implied here, that the greater we realize our oneness with all and our oneness with the divine, the less the world has control over us, the less that we walk through the world as victims. When we recognize who we are and who each person is, the world has no say. It's like meditating on a pile of trash and knowing who we are. It doesn't matter what is going on in the world. It doesn't matter what people are saying or doing. We know who we are. What beautiful wisdom we have taken from these spiritual teachers and from the ancient wisdom of Hinduism. You know, when we recognize our oneness, we're happier. We're more at peace. We are experiencing moksha. We are experiencing freedom. We're no longer victims. We no longer walk through the world. We walk through the world in a different way. We have a different stride. We have a different way of being. And Ernest knew that. He knew who we were, who we are. But we have to develop a different relationship with the divine in order to do this. So what I invite all of us to do is to look at our relationship with the divine, to examine what is it like? How do you connect with it on a regular basis? What is it like for you? What does it feel like in your being, in your body, in your meditation time, in your prayer time? What does it feel like? Because the goal is to experience it, not so much just to know that we are one from the intellectual mind, but to feel it. And we get there through practice. Just like anything, we get there through practice. The beautiful wise teacher Muji said, the most direct way to self-realization is self-inquiry. To ask yourself the question, who am I? And go beyond all the labels and the concepts until you arrive at the truth. When we ask the question, who am I? What the brain wants to do is, well, I am this because of this thing that happened. I am a teacher, I'm a mother, I'm a minister. We have identities of who we are, the labels that we have given ourselves. All the experiences that we've had that we use to define who we are. That's all the mind. The mind wants to put us in a box. The mind wants to put others in a box. But to truly understand who we are, we have to move into the stillness. Because it's not something that's going to happen out here. It's going to happen by going within. By taking time to connect in, to move into the quiet. That's how we know. That's the only way there. That's the only way there is through the stillness. Self-realization really isn't something to strive for. It's something to just surrender to. We all been working hard on our spiritual path, all of us. But as Ernest Holmes is famous for saying, let go and let God. Let go. Let go of the striving. Let go of trying to do it perfectly. Spending time within, even if it's 5 minutes a day, just connecting in. And stop trying to control the outcome of our lives. It is said in the Upanishads, the self, Atman, is not to be known by argument. The self is to be known by the self alone. So this quote emphasizes that self-realization is an experiential process, something we can experience only when we are in that still place. It is not an intellectual exercise. We must let go and surrender. The meaning of Upanishad is to sit near, to sit close to the divine. That is the meaning of it. That is where the wisdom resides. That is where all of our answers come from, is by going within. And so let's all make a commitment to ourselves to do that. If you now spend 5 minutes doing it, take it up to 10. If you don't have a meditation practice, I would encourage you to begin one, even if it's a few minutes every day. When we do this, self-realization is possible. It isn't just possible for those yogis that meditate on trash. It is possible for all of us. But because we are in a human world and we're interacting and engaging with all the human things and the distractions and the distortions and the delusions and the attachments, our mind interferes. So we dedicate time to this. We dedicate time. We commit to devoting ourselves to this practice. rather than devoting ourselves to all the human things that we go through and have to experience. Ernest Holmes said, "Recognize the oneness of all life and you will experience a deeper sense of peace, love, and harmony." And that is the truth. Are you all willing to try this out? Yeah. Wherever you are at, taking it up just a little bit. Let's all experience self-realization. A cherished and well-known concept in Hindu philosophy is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And what that means is the world is one family. The world is one family. We are all connected by the one, by that supreme being, by the loving presence of God. And isn't that beautiful to know that we are all one? That light that exists within me exists within each one of you and exists within all beings, every single being on this planet. Those who are loving, those who are wonderful and amazing, and those who are doing hard and awful things in the world. The light exists within them too, by the way. And so this week, remember the truth of who you are. Remember the truth that is in all. Every single person on this planet has that divine spark. Every person, let's know that every person on this planet can experience self-realization, can experience oneness, can know who they are, and feel that exquisite connection with the divine. Take time to bow in great devotion to the essence of God within you and the essence of the divine within all. I want to close by having each one of us acknowledge the divine in one another by saying the word namaste. This is a Sanskrit term that all of us have heard. And namaste is often accompanied by a gesture known as the Anjali Mudra. And the Anjali Mudra is placing your hands in the middle of your heart, pressed together in the middle of your heart, and when you say namaste, you bow slightly. Now, the act of bringing our hands together is symbolic of bringing the individual self and the divine essence of all that is together, our individual self and the divine together. So as we bring our hands together, let's all do this. And when someone says namaste, what they are doing is that they are acknowledging the sacredness, the interconnectedness of all beings. When we bow in reverence to someone, when we say namaste, we are acknowledging that the divine light is within them and it is within each one of us. So I invite you right now to turn to someone next to you and to give them a namaste greeting. Mm-hmm. And now I invite you to close your eyes for a moment, keeping your hands in that prayer pose on your heart. And I want you to bring into your mind the world, seeing all the faces of every being across this planet, this beautiful planet of ours. And just bringing all of these beings into your heart, particularly those who've been impacted by the earthquake in Morocco. Let's just hold all beings in our heart, and let's now bow in reverence and say namaste to all beings. Let's move into prayer. Practitioners, please stand in high consciousness. And so in this prayerful place, this space where there is the experience of oneness, the experience of the divine, the essence of God, the essence of Spirit, we feel the essence of that within our being. And we know that as we feel that and know that for ourselves, we can then see it in others. We see that divine spark in all beings. And we are able to bow in great reverence, knowing that that divine essence is within every single person. I'm knowing that as we move on this spiritual path, that we all are experiencing self-realization, that we are experiencing liberation, that we are experiencing true freedom. For we know and we are remembering the truth of who we are, that we are an individualized expression of the one, of that supreme being, of that light and love that is the divine. I am knowing that each one of us are experiencing that more and more and more as we move along our spiritual path. We are experiencing that. We are feeling one with all, one with the divine essence of all that is, one with all beings. And as such, we are moving through the world in a different way. We are experiencing more freedom, more joy, more bliss. And what a gift that is. What a gift it is to be able to offer this energy, this light, this prayer to all beings. And so I give great thanks for this, knowing it is so, knowing it is done. Knowing that as we elevate our consciousness, we support and contribute to the elevating of the consciousness of all beings. And so with that, I release this, I let it go, I trust, I let God do God's perfect work in my life. And so it is.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Thank you, Julie. You can all be seated. We believe in the law of circulation, which says that as you give, you receive. And so there are a number of ways that you can give to our beloved center. You can visit our website, you can text, you can see the number there, or you can mail your gift to our office. As the basket, or the bag, I guess, rather, comes around, as you place your gift in it, send some love, send some abundance, knowing that we are abundant, knowing that that abundance is circulating beautifully within and around and for our community. So taking your gift, placing it on your heart, let's say our offering affirmation together. This gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give, and joyfully I receive.
This is a song by Karen Drucker. We've been doing lots of those in preparation for the concert. This is called I Am Beautiful. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. Celebrate my beauty, celebrate my power, celebrate my wisdom, celebrate my beauty, celebrate my power, celebrate my wisdom, celebrate my beauty, celebrate my power, celebrate my wisdom, celebrate. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. And I celebrate who I am.
Yeah. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Doug. And so I bless all that is flowing into this beloved community, knowing that it blesses us as we continue to move forth, serving this community and beyond. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you all. Is there anybody here for the first time? Brave enough to raise your hand. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. So glad you were here. There's welcome packets on the front table outside if you didn't get one. If you have questions, of course, there's plenty of people here to answer your questions. Don't mean to put you on the spot. And as I keep talking, I'm continuing to put you on the spot, so I apologize. Do you love that? Okay. All right. Well, welcome. So glad that you are here. Welcome to our spiritual home. Welcome, welcome. All right. So let's stand and say our closing benediction and our closing song together. And just know after service, our practitioners will be up here for prayer. If there's something heavy on your heart and you need prayer, come join them up here. There's also a prayer box in the back of the room if you'd like to write a prayer, and then we will pray on that all week for you. All right, let's place our hands over our hearts and let's say this together. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true nature. May we be healed, and may we be a source of healing for all beings. Love is who we are. Love is who we are. Love is all there is. Keep standing. Grab a hand if you want to. Sing in our closing song.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now.